welcome back, Transformer TCG fans. We got to do this quick. I'm doing a little upload on Rumble at the moment. Yeah, I'm on Rumble too. So it's Power Master Thursday. We got two more characters to go through, and maybe a battle card to maybe glance at that I made some time ago that might affect these guys. So we have an Autobot and a Decepticon, continuing the Power Master reveals. Wow, I'm not sure what number we're on exactly, but let's get into it. We have an official character that was a toy, just like Rev here, just like Rev. Excuse me, Lube. Lube is up next, and then we're going to look at Sorgen, who is an official character out of the old Marvel comics. That was a Nebula, and he was a cohort to Lord Zarek, and Lord Zarek became the head of Scorponok. Sorgen did nothing. So we'll look at him in a minute, but right now we're going to look at Lube, and it took me a while to try to find this image online. Let me tell you, and I finally found it, and he looks pretty good. He's one of the better looking ones I did. I don't know if it's because I made the ink part, his lines maybe thinner than some others. He looks like he's, reach out and grab it kind of guy. And so he's a 3-star Power Master Autobot with his stats are 132. Originally it was 112. And I'm starting to think that maybe these guys' health is maybe too low. So he's 132, not 112. He is a Battle Master in the melee trait, kind of following in line with most of the little Titan Masters, but he is a Power Master. And thus, when you're going out on the Dropbox, the link will be down below, there is an Autobot link, an Autobot file, and a Decepticon file. And then when you look at the character, and the character has underneath it Power Master. Underneath it, Power Master, and beside Power Master is the name of the upgrade they're going to turn into. So that way you can match them up easily, and it looks okay. It's not going to have like Special Ops or Spec Ops or Infiltrator or Soldier or Infantry or anything like that for these guys, because they're just little. They're going to be out there for a short time probably and get wiped out and get put on as an upgrade. So Lube has Bold 1. And we've already established he's a 3-star character. So when he gets KO'd, begins in bot mode, can't flip. When he's KO'd, play his upgrade side. His upgrade is the Ground Boxer Engine. So as always, when they get put on, and put on as an upgrade, something happens. And then you have the crank ability. And of course, as always, if they're on a character that's in alt mode already, they can't flip to bot. If they're on a character that isn't bot, they can flip to alt, but then they can't flip back unless they come off or vaporized or crushing sized, or another card that I've made here in a second. Ground Boxer Engine, when you put this on a character, scrap your hand, not this hand, your cards. Your hand, and draw as many cards scrapped. So if you have a hand of, you got 3 cards in your hand, the Ground Boxer Engine goes on somebody, a Sideswipe, a Cheetor, an Optimus, a Megatron, or whoever on a character. Doesn't matter who. Scrap your hand. If you scrap 3 cards, draw 3 cards. It's 1 for 1. Crank. He has a Crank 2 ability. So when at least orange, or 2 orange pips are flipped for battle, flip 2 more. Attack or defense. Remember, High Test and Throttle are the exceptions to the rule because they can both go on to, or any of these guys, I guess, really could. But those guys are really meant to help accentuate Dreadwing. Okay? So Crank 2, when at least orange are flipped for battle, flip 2 more. So you flip white, flip 2 more again. Of course, that's what that video was all about with Dampening Field. Oh goodness. We have another Dampening Field. You can your opponent can only flip 4 cards. It begins with a T. Oh God, I forgot. It's on the. I can see it. It's on the tip of my tongue. It's right here. You can only opponent can only flip 4 cards or 2. One is 2, one is 4. The dampening field is 2. The other one I think is 4. And then we also have an official card that is Stunnicon Swagger. My Bestial Flourish is basically Stunnicon Swagger, but with Predacons or Beasts, I can't remember which. So we have some, some official cards and some non-official cards that do some of the same things there along those lines. So while you may build up a whole lot of bold, if your opponent plays any of those cards, or they got Stunnicons, they have Stunnicon Swagger on a character, you don't have bold or tough. They're playing beasts, Beast War characters, and they have Bestial Flourish, which is my synonym for Stunnicon Swagger. You can't get all that bold and tough, even though you have your Power Master. He's nullified. Okay, so that's the Ground Boxer engine, and I just mentioned half a dozen cards. So let's look at Sorgen, who, if you remember in the Marvel Comics, he was a bald guy, so I made him bald. He may have even worn glasses, I can't remember. He had a little goatee, so I kind of added that into his features here. Despite him being a Decepticon, he's white and blue with a little green, kind of neon green going on for him, which may have been part of some of the colors that the character was wearing in the comics. I don't remember. I don't know where I picked these colors from. But he's a 4-star character. He has 1 more attack than Lube does, so he's 2/3/2, and he also has bold 1 just like Lube does. This Power Master, he's a leader. He's might be the one Decepticon leader I have. High Q is the one Autobot leader I have. There might be another one. But Sorgen is a leader, has the leader trait. He turns into the Nebulin E606 5.0 leader, W311. Yeah, crazy. I mean, there's some interesting reality here, but I made it Nebulin. Okay, so let's look at his upgrade. Okay, it's of course an upgrade utility. He can go on anybody. He can go on anybody. Now he might work great with Bludgeon, because look what he has. He has Crank 3. With what? Well, when you put this on a Decepticon first, he can go on anybody. But if he goes on a Decepticon, scrap an enemy's upgrade. Crank 3. Now, I truncated this, so it does not have win at least or flipped, but that should be implied. I was just trying to save some space and shortcut it, okay? Crank 3. Win at least. Black, green, white are flipped for battle. Flip 3 more. Not every time, at least. Okay? So maybe I need to see if I can get it all back in there. But he's a leader. He's got 1 more star. He's a 4-star, and I don't have a whole lot of 4-stars. And he, because he has Crank 3. Now, the Ground Boxer engine had +2 defense. I failed to mention that. So he does give some defense on the utility side, which is nice because he's a Power Master. Well, the Nebulin W311 here, well, that kind of rhymes. He does not give attack. He does not have defense. He does not even give health. That's because he has such a high crank. I didn't add any of that. And we have like 1 official card or 2 that has those 3 colors on them, if I remember correctly. Is the Metallicato card have that? I think there's one for Triptychon that has this as well. Of course, if you're playing the 25-star maximum, then you can't have this guy with Triptychon, obviously, because he takes up 4 stars. So things to think about, things to kind of look at. And then there's this. Let's go look. And I'm doing some videos, really going back, kind of cleaning up a few things, changing a few things. We're going to get back to counters. The Unspaced Stabilizer, which is a blank secret action. I have 3 unspaced battle cards. They're all blank. The Unspaced Stabilizer, what it does, remember when I really started getting really deep into battle cards, I was playing around with the KO and getting cards in your KO in and out, breaking that and helping to break somebody or stopping somebody with playing the Common Springer from Wave 4 and making them put their cards that have been KO'd back into their hand or back into the scrap, mainly into the scrapper deck. Getting that stop with break the tail and roll the ball, throw the ball, and all that mess. So the Unspaced Stabilizer, let's take a look at this again real quick. Reveal when one of your characters has at least an upgrade scrapped or KO'd. So let's say you have the Unspaced Stabilizer. They're blank pip cards, so you're not going to want many of these in your deck at all. Maybe with the Power Master, I guess you might, if you want to have 3 blank pip cards, you could have 3 blank Unspaced Stabilizers. Your opponent, you have this in play, your opponent is attacking, they play a card or play an upgrade that knocks off your Power Master, say it's the only upgrade you have on a character, or one of many, they play a Vaporize, your Power Master has to come off. Well, take it off, reveal the Unspaced Stabilizer, because the Power Master was just KO'd as an upgrade. The Unspaced Stabilizer, when revealed, put one of the upgrades back on the same character from which it was scrapped or KO'd. So it has to go back onto the same character. Is that going to, let's go back and look at the Nebulin W311 engine. If it goes back on a Decepticon that you just had this, it has to be the same character. Let's say it was on a G1 Megatron. It goes back on that G1 Megatron. You can scrap another enemy upgrade. Yes, it does get re-triggered. This is my Unspaced Stabilizer, which is a secret action, is an exception. In the regular action, that is the Quartermaster is the other exception. I try not to do that too much. And once I started looking at these, and I'm like, I got to start looking at some older cards. I'm like, the Unspaced Stabilizer. And I'm like, here it is. So, wow, some neat things can be done with this. I really think there's enough here to throw at the wall and see how much can really stick and have fun with it. We'll see what happens. As always, thanks for watching. All we did was go over the Unspaced, reviewed the Unspaced Stabilizer, revealed Lube Sorgen. We'll catch you next time. Don't have just a great day. Have a blessed day. And as always,
Megatron Swindle here says, let's flip and let's roll out.